Damian Lillard is cooked and Glenn Rivers is cooked. Do you think Doc Rivers gets fired, man? It's interesting. It's interesting to think about because of all of the Damian Lillard injuries. But when you trade for a 34-year-old player, these are the things that happens. And the Sixers learned this the hard way, except they signed him to a max contract until 2028, like a bunch of R words. But anyway, Celtics Magic. Celtics Magic, pretty much same story, man. The Orlando Magic don't have enough. The Boston Celtics have way too many weapons. Very physical series, very physical game yesterday. I think it's fun that the Boston Celtics are crying about physicality. You know, Jayson Tatum got the wrist injury a couple of games ago on what I thought was a pretty normal foul call. There was a really hard foul yesterday by Anthony Black on Jayson Tatum where he just hacked down on both of his arms that they reviewed, and they said it's a common foul. There was a play, not sure if it was in the Orlando game. It wasn't the Orlando game. It was on, it was a foul by Wendell Carter Jr. on a Jayson Tatum drive or a Jaylen Brown drive. I don't remember. Derek White drive, actually, I think it was, where he lowered his shoulder, kind of threw him a little forearm and knocked him out of bounds. The officials reviewed it. And all the broadcasters and everybody were like, they might call this a flagrant foul. I hope that they don't because this is playoff basketball. And in super slow-mo, they even saw the extension of the arm and still called it a common foul. I love that. You know, we, as basketball fans right now, we can make a compilation of plays from these playoffs. And we can go at all the old heads that claim the game isn't physical anymore. Nobody plays any defense. You're not allowed to touch anybody. And they say this because they stopped watching basketball after Michael Jordan retired. We can make a compilation of these playoffs, and we can battle the old heads and show them that the NBA is still physical and you're still allowed to foul people. You know, so I love the way that it's being officiated. I think it's funny that the Boston Celtics are crying about the physicality, and it's showing to me a little bit of mental weakness by the Boston Celtics that could come back to bite them in the Eastern Conference Finals, probably against the Cleveland Cavaliers, if they even make it out of the second round. About the Orlando Magic, I want to say this. It's a one-man show, much like the Detroit Pistons. Paolo gave you 31. He was struggling down the stretch because he was trying to do too much because nobody else could do anything. When you got Corey Joseph starting in the playoffs, what are we really talking about? You know what I mean? Who didn't have a bad game, by the way, 12, 3, and 6 on 62% from the field and a +7. Franz Wagner gave you a lot of buckets, right? A lot of tough shots. But this guy's a 29% three-point shooter. He was 2 for 7 in this game. Paolo's a 31% three-point shooter. Going against the Boston Celtics, you're just not going to win when your top two guys are bad three-point shooters, because this is a team that shoots 53s a game and has 7 really good three-point shooters on the team. You know what I mean? Franz being your number 2 next to Paolo, when Paolo's already a 31% three-point shooter, Franz being an even worse three-point shooter really comes back to bite you, and it really killed them in the fourth quarter. It got to the point where Kristaps Porzingis was guarding Franz Wagner like he was Ben Simmons or Russell Westbrook. He was just standing 4 feet back, daring him to shoot it. And I thought Franz Wagner was a sniper, because every time the Sixers play him, he lights it up like he's damn Hedo Turkoglu in his prime. Shout out to Hedo Turkoglu, former Orlando Magic player. Franz Wagner can't shoot, and it's tough when you have 2 guys trying to drag the team to victory, and all you got to do is force them to shoot threes, and you're playing the percentages, and that is what it is. Here's a quote by Jaylen Brown speaking of the Boston Celtics complaining about physicality. There might be a fight breakout or something. And I thought this was a fake page at first. I thought this was Lagan Hoops, right? Or NBA Centel. There might be a fight breakout or something, because it's starting to feel like it's not even basketball and the refs are not controlling their environment. If you want to fight it out, we can do that. We can fight to see who goes to the second round. And I kind of agree that the Orlando Magic are playing extra physical because they have to. They don't have the talent to match up with the Boston Celtics. But what does Celtics really think they're going to do? You think they're going to come out there and just roll over and die? No, they're going to try to get in your head. They're going to try to foul you. They're going to try to rough you up. They're going to try to get under your skin and take you off your game. What do you expect? Of course they're playing like that. You guys need to be tough enough to weather the storm and tough enough to fight through it. And I think that even mentioning it, even crying about it a little bit, it's starting to feel like it's not even basketball and the refs aren't controlling their environment. Even crying about it like this in a post game shows a little bit of mental weakness, if you ask me. And maybe my hate for the Boston Celtics is controlling my narrative, probably. But I think this type of attitude right here could come back to bite the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's what I think. DJ, please react to your live stream where you said the Sixers are contenders. Well, I will not do that. I said that because in the moment I thought the 76ers were contenders by adding Paul George. That was with the assumption that Joel Embiid was going to be healthy. If Joel Embiid's healthy, the Sixers are contenders. I was right. Joel Embiid not being able to play the whole season easily makes the 76ers not contenders. If you told me ahead of time, hey, Joel's not going to be healthy the whole season, how do you feel about the Sixers? I'd be like, they're going to fucking suck ass. What do you mean? So, yeah. Is it going to be Pacers Cavs? Yeah, that's what I'm getting wrong. I'm not getting the playoff picture correct. The Celtics, oh yeah, it's going to be Cavs Pacers. I'm dumb. It's going to be Celtics Knicks. Ooh. That's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. And if the Celtics are complaining about the physicality of the Orlando Magic, well, first of all, they better hope the Detroit Pistons don't come back and win the Knicks series. The Knicks aren't as physical as they used to be with Dante and Julius Randle, but the Knicks still play physical. And Celtics Knicks series. My goodness, that's going to be one for the ages, isn't it? Who am I even rooting for? I hate them both. How do I watch a series between the Knicks and the Celtics? Oh my God. I can't do it. I don't think I can watch it. I like to be able to pick a team to root for. It makes it more fun to watch. Ugh. I can't watch that. That's disgusting basketball. Knicks versus Celtics. Gross. Gross. Nah, I can't do it, man. I can't pick one. Knicks haven't beat either the Cavs or Celtics all season. That's interesting. That's an interesting part of that. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about those games last night. Lakers lost again. I didn't watch that one. I think that was a 10 o'clock one, and I was out at like 10:30. I may have watched the first couple minutes of it, but Lakers down 3-1. Anthony Edwards is becoming the face of the league, and I shouldn't have picked the Los Angeles Lakers to win that series. I underestimated the size and physicality of the Minnesota Timberwolves, especially with all the things I was saying about the Lakers all year, right? And I love the way that Anthony Edwards plays the game, and I love the approach that he takes. And he really gives me like 90s NBA player vibes. And I think he's great for the game. I think he's great for the league. And if Anthony Edwards leads that team to the NBA Finals, we're going to start to have some conversations about who is the face of the league, you know? Although lots of people already claim that it is Anthony Edwards. If he leads that team to the NBA Finals, I think it's pretty set in stone that Anthony Edwards is the face of the league. But, you know, you got to get through. Second round will probably be the Warriors for the Minnesota Timberwolves. You're going to have the Thunder versus either the Clippers or Nuggets. should be the Clippers on paper, but Denver has pulled out some miraculous wins. Will they have enough to continue? We will see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, yeah, Damian Lillard is feared to have torn his Achilles. And the Bucks are done. And that sucks. Obviously, he had the blood clot issue and came back before anybody thought he was going to come back. And then he has what is feared to be a torn Achilles. This is what the Bucks, signed up for. You don't assume that somebody's going to tear his Achilles, but you traded Drew Holiday in his prime, who's an amazing defender and facilitator, and meant so much to the Bucks winning the 2021 NBA championship, for a guy who was always known to not play defense, put up a lot of points on a bad team for a long time, made you worse. The trade made you worse. That's what happened. And then you fired the coach. You fired the winning coach. Then you fired the next coach. Then you hired Doc Rivers. Then you traded Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. The Bucks, this is just the nail in the coffin to the Milwaukee Bucks implosion, because Damian Lillard is 35 years old. He, if it's a torn Achilles, it's going to take him a season and a half to come back, which means a year, at least a year to come back. Damian Lillard's probably going to miss all of next season for the Milwaukee Bucks. And maybe Doc Rivers survives because maybe, he can say, well, Dame got injured and we had a new squad after the trade deadline. And so maybe Doc Rivers survives. I don't think firing Doc Rivers is going to fix anything for the Milwaukee Bucks. Maybe Giannis asks for a trade. But definitely sucks that Dame had that injury. But man, Milwaukee Bucks fans, I feel your pain. After winning a championship just a couple of years ago, your franchise has completely imploded. I mean, we're talking Tower 7 level of coordinated detonation.